I have a disclaimer. I am not a licensed psychiatrist or medical doctor who is given license or approval to diagnose a person with a mental health condition. I do not provide medication or any diagnosis to individuals regarding mental health conditions or diagnoses. My profession is a certified life coach, and the information that I provide in this video is to be taken as a general message. It may or may not apply to a specific person or group. And if you are in need of any professional assistance, I do recommend that you make an appointment with a medical professional who is a doctor to treat you and diagnose you. However, I am not providing any medical advice, so make sure you seek professional medical help for your own unique reasons. Thank you. End of disclaimer. I titled my video, Women Are Deranged Because They're Sleeping with Males. Lesbian Perspective. I am Giselle Wallace, lesbian life coach and author. I do provide my lesbian perspective here on my YouTube channel. If that interests you, then please like and share the video, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. I was thinking about making this video because I get a question quite often from women. And the question that I'm asked often from women led me to decide to go ahead and discuss this topic. And the topic is about women who are very erratic, unstable, as well as disoriented, and how they become very disconnected with themselves and with reality. And there's a correlation of this change in a woman's behavior and attitude whenever she is sexually involved with a male. This has been an observation as well as feedback that I have received from people regarding women being involved with men, or rather specifically males, in relationships, and how it affects other women, specifically women who love women. And even more so, how it affects lesbians. Now, the question that I am often asked from women is, quote, why do lesbians avoid sleeping with bisexual women or women who are heterosexual? Because lesbians seem to always have an issue with being involved sexually with women who are involved with men sexually. End quote. That is a very great question. It is a loaded question, and I will try my best to answer the question. However, I will say this: every woman is unique. Every woman has her own personality. She has her own beliefs, values, and morals. And her experience in life may not be like the next woman's experience in life. So everyone is unique and important. And if you have your own situation that you believe needs more personal attention, then I recommend signing up for life coaching. I provide one-on-one life coaching, and I can be contacted here on my YouTube channel. My contact information is in the description box below this video. I will be glad to be your life coach. This question that I get very often from women is a huge concern, and it's very important for me to address this question because this question comes from women who love women. Now, who classifies as women who love women, or the acronym WLW? Women who are emotionally, romantically, mentally, physically, sexually, and spiritually attracted to women in a erotic manner, or an eros love for women. This can be women who are lesbian, who are exclusively attracted to women, or it can also include bisexual women or pansexual women, as well as women who are asexual. There are various sexual orientations, and that's why we use the acronym LGBTQIA+, because it is inclusive of all sexual orientations. But primarily, under the umbrella of LGBTQIA+, when it refers to sexual orientation, these women are not heterosexual. So I hope that clarifies to you what women who love women means. There is a concern, there is a need to know from women who love women why specifically lesbians avoid being sexually involved with bisexual women or pansexual women or women who identify as heterosexual. Well, there's one reason why that I will discuss in this video. But there's actually other reasons, but for the sake of time and for this video, I will discuss one reason why lesbians avoid or do not like being involved sexually with bisexual women, pansexual women, or fluid women, or heterosexual women. And that reason is because they have something in common. They sleep with men. If you are a woman who loves women, but you are not a lesbian, you are capable of being involved with men romantically and or sexually. And because of the complexity of being romantically and emotionally and sexually linked with a man, deeply influences a woman, she can actually literally change in her physical appearance, but also her emotional and mental and spiritual state changes as well from her interactions with men. Because lesbians know this, they do not generally involve themselves in relationships with women who are sexually and romantically involved with men. Now, I'm using the word men. However, I will say that when I use the word males, males, these men are not emotionally intelligent. They tend to be very controlling, and they are not empathetic, mature men. So they are males because they are not men. But if you do hear me say men or males interchangeably, do understand that men who are mature, who are empathetic, who are loving and kind, decent men, that is wonderful. The males who are very controlling, insecure, and do not have any regard or respect for women, I actually refer to them as males. But in general, if a man is a good man or if he is a bad man, it doesn't really matter in the eyes of a lesbian, because a lesbian views any woman who is sexually involved with a man as a no-go. She does not want to get involved because the sexual relationship between a man and a woman can create a soul tie, and they can create a new life, meaning they can procreate, create a whole new soul. The relationship is very deep, and women, the way they are designed, they are made for relationships. Women are attached emotionally and mentally and physically to the person who they are involved with. And because lesbians know this, we know that a woman changes when she's involved with a man on a romantic, emotional, sexual level. And if she has children with a man, she's even more attached to that man. The fact that a woman is giving her body to this man, there is this transformation that she's going through. You're not just being physically involved with the person and you can just do the sexual act, get up and walk away like nothing ever happened. No, you have created a soul tie. And a soul tie means that you are attached to this person that you slept with. And whatever that person is carrying within themselves will be transferred to you as a woman. And to prove it, all you have to do is make an appointment with your primary care doctor. Make an appointment with a gynecologist and ask for some pamphlets about pregnancy and STDs, which are sexually transmitted diseases, or STIs, which are sexually transmitted infections. Have a conversation, ask questions with your doctor. And you will find out that when you sleep with someone, you carry whatever they have inside them in your body. I was reading an article and it was explaining how when a man sleeps with a woman, he physically, literally enters her body. And when he reaches his point of climax, he leaves the male seed inside of that woman. And I read that the male seed will remain in a woman's body for a minimum of 2 hours and a maximum of 7 days. They said the average time frame that the male seed is within the female body is 5 days to 7 days. Now, the way men are, they generally like to keep sleeping with the woman that they're sleeping with. So let's say, for example, this man is sleeping with this woman 3 times a week, like minimum. That's just minimum. He wants to sleep with this woman at least 3 times a week. If he can do it every day, he would. Now, if he's releasing himself, his seed, and it remains in her body for 5 to 7 days, and he repeatedly sleeps with her often, she is not ever without that man's seed in her, whether she gets pregnant or not. Like, she literally never rids her body of this male's seed. He is not leaving her body literally, because he's constantly sleeping with her and releasing. I know that this is very mature, but I'm painting a picture for you. And this is how you know that when you lie down with a man and you are a woman, you constantly are taking on this man. You're taking on his energy, his spirit. Everything that is in him, he releases into you as a woman. How this man thinks and feels about you goes into you as well. And you wonder why you wake up with headaches, stomach aches, back aches, and you have nausea and vomiting, but you're not even pregnant, but you have all of these symptoms of illness. Well, if you are sleeping with a man who is not your husband, or if he's unfaithful to you and he's sleeping with other women and maybe other men too, everything that he's doing is coming back to you. There is a metamorphosis that a woman is going through. Her mind is changing. Her heart is changing. Her physical body is changing. Have you ever looked at, for example, a man and a woman who have been together for a period of time? They begin to physically look like each other. Like, of course, you know the difference between the two. The man still stays his own self and the woman stays her own self. But they begin to merge and literally start looking like each other because they are involved on the deepest level that they possibly could be involved in. They've created a soul tie together. This woman begins to even start thinking like this man. If she, depending on the kind of man she has, if he's a male, if he's no good, all of his toxic thoughts, she begins to pick up on, because she's constantly around him. She's constantly with him. She's constantly sleeping with him. All of this residue never leaves her. And you wonder why women have these terrible attitudes and these awful personalities. And if you've ever been around a woman before you knew she was actually involved sexually with a man, like maybe you knew her, maybe she's a woman who's like in your family, like your sister or your cousin, for example, and she was pretty stable. She seemed to have it together, but things got really shaky and rocky in her life once she started being involved with this man, especially when she started having sex with the man. She completely changed. Like her mind was gone. I've witnessed it with women many times. They change because of the intensity of the type of relationship they're involved in with the man. And many of these women are sleeping with the enemy, and the residue is constantly going in them. So they become toxic. They become erratic. They seem like they have multiple personalities. Like, you wonder, who is she going to be today? Because her behavior is constantly flipping. And in most cases, she's always disheveled. She's always irritable, nagging, impatient, unreasonable. This is because these women are heavily involved with men. And they're sleeping with men who are not good for them. Men who are very wild and they don't have any self-control. They're not committed to the woman who they're involved with. They're sowing their wild oats. They don't even have a relationship with the Most High God. Sleeping around with different women who have different personalities, different upbringings, different mindsets. And also you have to think about a woman and her hygiene. How does she care for her body? Does she care for her mind? There's a lot of women who do not have a therapist or a life coach. They're just walking around aimlessly in life, carrying on all these burdens, but never making progress. So you have this woman who doesn't take care of herself, and then she wants to be in a relationship with a man. She's sleeping with a man who is very low vibrational because she's very low vibrational. So that's why they're always together. Like, you wonder why these women never can get a good man. Well, because her thinking is all messed up. So she's not capable of being with a good man because all she knows is being with a bad man. And she hasn't worked on herself. She's not into self-development. She's not even into being a good woman because she just thinks that being a good woman will leave her single and lonely and without a man. So she's got to have a man. So lesbians know this. And we observe this all the time. And we don't want any of the residue. Lesbians would rather stay single for the rest of their lives than to be involved with a woman who will never let go of a man. Because many of these women are so attached to these men, even if they are involved in a relationship with a woman, she's not over that man. And it gets even worse if she has children with the man. Even if she has one child, there's always this bond, this attachment. She's emotionally unavailable. She's emotionally unstable. And her fix is always keeping a man. It's like she's an addict. Like, a man will play with this woman because he knows that she needs him, or she thinks she needs him. And so he'll use her sexually. He'll even use her financially. He'll use her to the degree where he'll convince her that he's a good man when he knows he's a bad man. See, he already knows he's no good. But she's so wrapped up into this man that he's the best thing she's ever had. And when she has her days where she just can't stand all of the drama and the pressure anymore, she takes a little break from a man and she goes and she looks for a woman because, well, this woman will make her feel good. Give her a little break from her man. Yeah, it happens all the time. And then you might say, well, if I'm with a man, I'm not going to get with a woman at the same time. I'll repeat, you hear this often. Well, if I'm with the man, I'm not going to get with the woman at the same time. That's what these women will say. But let's go back to what I said before. When you sleep with a man, or when you're sleeping with men, because some of these women, unfortunately, they are involved with more than one man. And, well, it can get worse, because if you are into polygyny, or if you're into having multiple partners, you're involved sexually probably with multiple men within very short periods of time. And a man leaves his seed in you. He leaves his residue in you. So even though you think you're taking a little break from this man, there's no break. There's no break. You're just fooling yourself. You're carrying on this man wherever you go. He's with you. And lesbians see it from a distance, and they run for their lives. They don't want to have anything to do with a woman like that. And although this may seem very harsh to the woman who wants to be involved with the lesbian, and the lesbian rejects her, well, that may be harsh to you as a woman, but it's even harsher to the lesbian when you put her in a bad predicament by going to her after you've been with the man. Because she knows that you're not over that man. She knows that you'll go back to that man. And that man knows that about you too. And this is why women are deranged, because they're sleeping with males. I am Giselle Wallace, certified life coach and author. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share the video. Contact me for one-on-one life coaching. I'm here for you. Thank you for listening.